Hello everyone, and welcome back to my glorious Soviet space program. So, what we got? We got more suborbitals. We got some tech unlocking soon, which will have a nice and tasty engine. Let's see exactly what's going on. RD-102. Not actually that cool. What we care about is basic rocketry. Because it has the RD-103, which is the thing that will get us into orbit. So, we're going to swap that around because we want to build up data on the engine before we build the tanks. 90 days, 141 days, 329 days. All right, I think we want to do a few more of those suborbital launches before we go for orbit. So I'll take one of those. $150 kilometers. Okay, let's do the training dance. Oh, what's the requirement on that? I didn't even look. 160 kilometers. Been there, done that. Saving up. Hey, Ak, I'm gonna, I think, this is an ungainly contraption. Oh, I think our fins hit when we launch. Oh, shoot. I meant to hit the other key. Well, Well, shoot. Let's see if this works. Hey. Why didn't the rockets... The wrong rockets fired. The right rockets fired. Okay. Alley-oop. We haven't done a telemetry analysis from there? Interesting. All right. Past the altitude. Man, it's a brilliant day today. Look at all the cities we can see from up here. And look at those clouds. Those clouds are glorious. Hey, Blowfish. Yeah, I remember the... I remember you guys investigating exactly which airport was involved in that. Or like finding the various... Because like the actual city graphics have changed so many times. Because for a while it was the one that had the airport and that was easy to tell. Now it's, I think, a different texture. Or does it still have the airport? It looks like it might still have the airport. I can't tell. A little bit toasty. Yeah, it's probably, it could well be Las Vegas. It's whatever Phineas Freak decided would be cool. Guess who remembered to fix the parachutes? Oh, we're coming down right on the city as it happens. Whee! Seven meters a second, too. I'd hope to be at 6. 6.9. Well, that's pretty funny. We ended up landed like that, but it's all good. No, yeah, the CR. I did not fix the COM offset. That's in a file. It's not something I can fix from in game. Oh, she didn't get as big a boost to her retirement. Right. So. in 8 days, and then, so we're looking at a year and a half. Hey, Pap. All right, I think I'm going to take this. I don't really want to spend time messing around with grinding contracts, so we're going to take this. And I think I'm going to take this as well. Yeah, because these only have 1-year deadlines. Do I want to take this now? Let's look at the text. Oh, we haven't even unlocked the tech we would need to do that. Pap, I saw that idea. It's an interesting idea. I got to think about it a bit. It's an interesting idea. The downside, so we can't tie their upgrade level together because if we did, then you could actually launch interesting rockets by means of building them and launching them from the SPH. And the reason that we can't do that is because if you build something in the SPH, it has no rollout time and no launch cost. And that is therefore only really acceptable for planes. So we can't have you building rockets in the SPH, which means that we have to enforce the size limits in the SPH, which means that we can't tie the SPH and VAB building levels together. All right, so I guess we're not going to do first scientific satellite then, which means, so let's start upgrading the tracking station. Let's take another one of these. 190. I believe that's doable, but I'm going to spin up like heck. Okay, and we'll send up Diana. Maybe should have waited one more suborbital flight before taking that contract, but them's the breaks. Oh, no, I can get, right. I can take First Scientific Satellite in another 6 months or so, and that'll give me the money I need to do everything else. So that's fine. All right, so we need to go up to 190. Yeah, it hits the fins. That's what's going on. All right, let's build up a little horizontal speed. Hey, brain. The build rates? Yeah. The downside would... So, Pap, consider the other side of that, though. The downside of that is that you have effectively doubled everyone's build rates. Unless you prevent people from building in both buildings at once, which I don't think you want to do. Because if you apply the VAB's build rate to the SPH, you effectively get the level 2 VAB instantly. Because you can now build two things at once using all the same points. All right, so let's spin up like mad. Oops, I guess we started spinning up too late. Because we're not spinning very much. I'm sort of tempted to push it over 200 kilometers for the record, but I'm worried about the temperature involved. So I think I'll leave it alone. Yeah, we're going to leave it alone. So close to that 200 kilometer record, but just not going to do it. No, Pap, you misunderstand. Like, whether you let cheaty cheaters build rockets there or not, you still are effectively giving the player double their build rate because they can build an expensive plane and an expensive rocket using the single super fast build rate. So you've effectively doubled the rate they can do stuff. Like, it would be worth the extra cost to literally build an air-breathing first stage and an air-launched rocket just to have that second build rate. Yeah, yeah, that's the problem, is I don't see really a way to do that with KCT. All right, so we got one altitude record, but we missed the 200 kilometer one. And we're not spinning fast enough, which is a shame because we are going to flip over quite quickly. Speedy, speedy, speedy. Oh, we only got to 1645. That's not bad at all, actually. Here we go. It's about the same G loading as before. Not that bad. So we could have gone to 200, okay. But I didn't want to risk it. NorCal Planner, yeah, Maximal did that um, back during the early racing days to basically to show how fast you could, because recovery was so fast, you could basically take one of those sounding rocket contracts a day. Um, we spinny. Yeah, because I put those things so near the center of mass that it's just going to do this forever, isn't it? Forever and ever and ever. All right, they're both at 1959. Well, we'll probably get them into orbit before then, if history is any judge. Now, we just barely have enough money to upgrade the launch pad. But if we upgrade the launch pad, we can't actually launch anything. Oh, it doesn't tell you how long it'll shoot. I wrote that dialogue. I should have known better. How long is the level 2 pad going to take? 267 days. Ouch. That is a long time. And we can't afford that. However, if we take this, we can now. So, I'm going to end up with 2 pads, which is sort of annoying, because I would rather have the first pad be the one that goes up to 60 tons. But we kind of need to use the pad meanwhile. Can always upgrade it later. So we're paying an extra 10K funds and taking a little longer than we otherwise would. All right, time for some more training. It's time for Jana to have a flight. All right, basic rocketry time. So we're going to edit this thing and replace it with the RD-103. And fix this. Oh, except we can't afford it. Lulz. I forgot about that part. I forgot about the part where we had to get another contract to be able to afford that thing. So, guess not. Not going to do that right now. NorCal Planner, the A4 reliability did not go up recently, but the RD10X reliability did go down. Basically, somebody had copy-pasted it directly from the A4, and that's not correct. Because the A4 was an extraordinarily mature engine by the end of the war. Like, it didn't have perfect reliability. It was pretty unreliable. But it was certainly like they'd been building the things for years. So it was pretty decent. Whereas some of those prototype engines were not long around. Certainly their starting reliability went down compared to an A4. All right, so we're looking at 329 days. How long do we have on this? June 20th, 1954. Year and a half. That'll be done in a year. Not bad. So I think we want to take this, do one more, and then get the other contract. And I'm going to do it in the other order. Satellite Aeroscience. All right. So at bare minimum, we're talking about 280, 470, 320. However, we can invest a crap ton of points in R&D. I wonder if I jumped the gun. Well, that's one way to find out. All right, so we're going up to 200 kilometers this time with Jana. And this time I'll spin up better. All right, this is the last one of these. Oh, no, actually, because I didn't actually save changes to the other one. The other one will have this problem too. All right, let's get out over the water. First, let's clear the pad area. So we're keeping pitch high to minimize total velocity required to get to that altitude. Which is to say, minimizing total entry velocity. All right. I'm going to start to spin up. Okay. There we go. Hopefully the booster won't come up and kiss us. No, I think drag is low enough that it's okay. It's sufficiently heavier than us that it has a higher ballistic coefficient, even though we're super sharp. 447 degrees per second. That's pretty good. that's like, what, 80 RPM? Pretty good. Okay, up we go. We'll get an altitude record, I assume. Oh, we went up to 207. I wanted to cut it off a little. Yeah, 200 kilometers. That gives us another 10K. That's nice. All right. G loading increasing. Ah, we already flipped over. That sucks. However, we managed to get down to under 1,300 meters per second when we flipped over, which is pretty good, which means that our total G loading is actually lower than it has been on all the previous missions, despite us actually going higher. So that's cool. The importance of spinning up, keeping the blunt edge down. Which is weird because the G loading should be dependent only on entry angle. It shouldn't be dependent on ballistic coefficient, but oh, but we were getting some lift when we were horizontal, and that's going to change the G loading. Because when we were spinning around like a top horizontally, then that would explain why we had lower G loading. All right. That's interesting. Okay. All right, we've done the last of the fun. Yeah, now we have to do the less well-paying contracts. It wasn't only aerodynamics. We didn't start super close. Like, I fired some retros on the lower stage. But in previous attempts, the retros haven't actually been enough to keep separation. So now I have a choice to make. Do I fly one more of these missions and then get the other thing, or do I get it now? Let me run the dates again. So that's 280 days. And that's 470. And that's 329. So that's 1083 days all told. So if we cut that in half, if we literally double our research rate, and that's not even counting early material science. Right. So we have to add that too. If we literally doubled our research rate right now, we still wouldn't make the 2-year deadline. If we tripled our research rate, we would. But I don't think... So we need about 50, I think about 50K for the RD103. This starts 424, so 375. Call it 360. That's 18 points. We could sink most of them into R&D. Oh, we got a point because we got a little bit of science, I guess. All right, so it's 0.75 science a year. So all right, we're now down to 1285 days. So 1285 days. So at best we can do a little over double our science rate. So we can get it down to 532 days if we literally invested pretty much all of it in R&D. Let me look at how much this thing costs again. Oh, first of all, I'm going to fix this. Okay. How much was this again? Yeah, it's 50. All right. NorCal Planner, yes, you're right. I am thinking about that because we'll get. Oh yeah, and we'll definitely get more than 20. I forgot about the science upgrade. Yes, yeah, so we'll get. Yep. So it looks like it's doable if we don't have too much in the way of failure. So let's do this thing. Aflac. All right. Okay, and let's R&D it. Claims it has no data, but that's before any tech transfer. Actually, hang on, which level of R&D do I actually want? It will take 76 days to build. We need 33 data a day. That's 81 data a day. So yes. I bet there's a. I bet there's a bug with that. Actually, I think I already knew about that bug. Anyway. Huh, mixture ratio didn't change. That's cool. Why not test out a new engine on a manned launch? Nothing could possibly go wrong. Why is it 100? Oh, it's 114 days now. Why is it 114 days now when it said 76 before? That confuses me. All right. All right. We don't really need. We don't really need that anymore, I don't think. We'll just launch this one. And I think we want to rush it a little bit. So, step one, let's invest. All right, there's the 18 that I was planning. That takes us to exact, oh, a couple more than I thought it would. Oh, did I calculate off 16 rather than 18? I don't know. Anyway, so let's look at dates again. We need to launch by June for the regular, 1954, June 20th. For this, November. November 21st. 2 years from now. So, the pad comes online. So we'll launch a year early for the satellite, it looks like. And it looks like we can do, because we dumped so many points into research and none into build rate, which was sort of stupid of me, but them's the breaks. We're going to be able to build with avionics prototypes, which is very nice. So we get actually the good avionics. Right. And I think I want to cut a little close to the bone and increase our build rate a little bit. All right, who hasn't flown? I think we're going to pump up Diana's retirement date. Duplicate one of those. And grab X-Planes. Hi. Tracking station is online. All right. How did that not fully R&D and get no tech transfer? That sucks. All right, we're pitching over in case we have to abort. Spin up a little bit. All the G's. And separate. NorCal Planner, I did not fly the 102 at all. I didn't even invest any money on it. And that's why, because they don't transfer all of them together. They only transfer the next one up. Cheers, Fox of Not. Sorry it's so late for you. Okay, I think I have maybe one more of these contracts. Note that we could go for orbit now. In fact, we could have gone for orbit before, but it would have required, it would have been off tank 1, which would have been a bit tight in terms of mass for a 60-ton pad and these engines. So I'm just waiting for tank 2. Comparatively leisurely reentry, only 10 Gs. shoots out. Shoots fully out. Yeah, based on what Pap's talking about with our engine's tech tree upgrades, if you look at my tech tree, you'll see how all the engine upgrades are actually octos. And that's because I pruned the engine that's used for them, but also because it's much clearer, because then you don't actually, then, like, we needed, somebody please model us a engine upgrade icon that we can use that instead of having to use just a random KSP part to show what an upgrade is. But I'm still finding it easier that they're octos, because then I can obviously tell looking at the tree, oh, that's a upgrade, not an engine. We get some money back, and her retirement is pushed out a few months. All right. So we have another one of these queued up. Conveniently, $30 days and 49 days, 50 days, 80 days. This is 97 days. Let's rush it down a little bit. All right. So as soon as that's done, we can build our orbital launch vehicle. And we have a little more money left. I'm going to save it up because we need to... Oh God, I was stupid. I forgot about tooling costs. Well, can always accept another contract. Make sure there is another one of these. There is. Good. All right, who needs the retirement boost? Jana does. Explains hi. One day for avionics prototypes. We'll miss 6 days of building, but that's okay. I don't care if we miss 6 days. It won't make or break. We'll fly that, and then I'll go to bed and build the orbital LV tomorrow. Jana it is. Yeah, the outer world's looking pretty cool. Yeah, it's being made by the same Take-Two team that deals with KSP, so that's pretty cool. I know the Outer Worlds is producer. She's great. So yeah, I'm psyched for that. All right, let's go. spin up time. Okay. NorCal Planner, I most certainly have not. However, that would make these things take way too long to build. And I care more about quick return on investment than I do about science at this point. I'm going to get a ton of science from Orbit. It's not like I would get another 20 science from just doing another biosample and more photography. So I'm not super invested in doing that, given that it would probably make these things take half again as long to build. But it's good luck. It's good thought. If I weren't so pressed for time, it would be worth doing, because you recover the funds afterwards. It just takes longer. Look at that precession. Wow, we've precessed kind of weirdly. Oh, right, because we're spinning so fast, that always causes KSP to precess a lot. But it does mean that our ballistic coefficient is way lower than even if we were coming in backwards. So that part's good. Pap, I would be tempted to maybe halve the cost of them, but I think it's not unreasonable right now that, because these rockets are super cheap, so it makes sense that good science instruments will cost as much as the rockets. For serious business rockets and probes, you won't even notice them. Huh, now we're not pitching like wild. There goes the booster. Splashing down. And there we go. All right. So I think that does it for me. So thank you everybody for watching. And I'll catch up with you next time. Bye-bye.